Okay.
All right, what's up, guys? Marc, Augustine here, and in this video, what we're going to talk about is how we use eBay impressions to increase sales. And what you're trying to get from this video is what's the term I was looking for, Sammy? To
The
recreate.
traffic report.
Right. We want you guys, what you're going to take away from this video is to recreate what we accomplished right here. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, let's get into the video. So
Right.
before we get into video, Sammy, you want to introduce
Yeah,
yourself?
yeah. Hi, my name is Sammy. I've been drop shipping on eBay for the last 7 years and just happy to be here, man.
Yeah, and my name is Marc Augustine. If you're new to the channel, I've been drop shipping over 10 years. I have over 1,400 videos on drop shipping. You can look back on the channel. And I've sold over $10 million online on different platforms. So this video is brought to you by Ecom Sniper. What Ecom Sniper and the Dropship Mastery class. What the Dropship Mastery course is a full eBay dropshipping course teaching you step-by-step how to dropship on eBay, and it's brought to you by myself, Sammy, and Ecom Sniper. If you want to get a 50% off the course, you use the code FIRST100, and the course would cost you $97. Once you get the course, you get a free month of the Ecom Sniper artificial intelligence driven software. So yeah, so Sammy, let's get into the video.
Let's go.
So this video, let me just backtrack a little bit and explain how this video kind of came about. This morning I was looking at sales, and I have to take the blame for not listing as much as I should, because that's my responsibility in this account. But I was looking at sales, and we're up 5%, which isn't great, but it's an increase. We sold $6,455 in the last 30 days. The total profit on the account is $3,500. So over the past like 2.5 months. So you averaging about $1,500, a little under $1,500 a month. And our goal is to get it up to about $3,000 to $4,000 a month on this account, and have multiple accounts. Obviously, we have multiple accounts running. So if you guys want to build a big business, maybe make $10,000 a month, you might want to run 3 to 4 accounts and make it quickly. If you want to take the risk and sell in one account and list 100,000 items or 50,000 items, that's an option, but the risk is increased. But anyway, let's get back and let me get back on track. So I was looking at the sales and it's increased, but I saw the impressions going down. So Sammy and I were talking this morning, and the first thing came up is the account flagged. And Sammy, before that was just something I brought up, but you want to mention what you think about that?
Right. So usually when an account flag, what it is your impressions is gonna drop on eBay like drastically by 80% overnight. And I think, like that is kind of like outside the topic of this video, like how to know if your account is flagged. So I think best we just go ahead and like talk about the traffic report that eBay gives us and how we can use that to our advantage, and like really like study the graph, understand the peaks and the troughs, right? The story that this graph tells us, and then make like some conclusions about that in a way that we can use to make actionable steps for our store. So do you want to go ahead and tell the story of what's going on, and first talk about the date range?
Yeah, so first, in order to get to this graph, you want to either go on your first page and hit traffic, or you could go to performance and hit traffic.
Right. Right. And this is basically your traffic report on eBay. And this is a numerical expression of the story of your account. So the journey that you have gone through up till this date. And we're going to show you what the journey looks like from our account starting from September 1st, which is when we have effectively started eBay dropshipping on this account. So right now we are a little bit about into the almost halfway into the 3rd month of our eBay dropshipping store on this YouTube channel. And here is the graph that's presented to us. So the very first thing that we want to look at is what our total impressions are inside of like this entire period. And we can see that our total impressions is $11 million. And you know what?
11 million impressions.
Right, exactly. So that is like what our impressions is up till this date so far. And Mark, do you want to talk about like how we can what this graph shows from the very beginning, and then we can kind of like talk about once we talk about like the very beginning, we'll talk about how we can use this graph to our advantage the very next moment. Yeah.
Right. So you can see September 11th, we just started to list.
Your sticky notes, yeah, is like it's showing in the screen.
Yeah. Let me just take that off.
Yeah, yeah, I think that'll be a good idea.
Yeah. So we could see at the beginning of our journey, we were listing, we started off at the beginning of September, we started listing a bit. And you could see the impression slowly going up. And we had a jump up to 200,000 on September 19th, but our highest, so we kept going September 19th. It went down a bit. My guess is, I didn't research this, but my guess is we might have done a lot of listings September 16th, but the
Right.
highest point we have is right around here.
You're right.
October 9th to October like 13th, 9th, 10th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and then it dropped down a little bit on the 13th.
Right. Right, exactly. And you know what, Mark, while you clear the graph, let's go ahead and like explain some important like pivotal points inside of this chart that we can kind of understand. As Mark said, there are like two periods in this store, right? In this period over here and in this period over here. These are the peaks in our accounts, right? But the rest of the time, we can see that there is a horizontal line that we can see that becomes our average, right? So this mark is around 180,000, and then we have two periods where we're getting two peaks. So usually this is like the misconception that I think most people have when they're drop shipping on eBay. Well, where they think that if I get to 10,000 listings, like my sales are just gonna increase month over month, day after day. But as you can see, we have 8,700 listings right now, but you can see that our sales are very similar to our impressions, thank you, are very similar to this period over here, and it's similar to this period over here. And these are effectively 1 month apart from each other. So why is our sales in this period similar to our sales in September 19th? Impressions. Thank you. Why is our impressions the same from that period, towards this period? And the answer is because eBay is not as linear as if you list more items, you're gonna get more sales. It doesn't work as linearly like that or as straightforward. There is more concepts that needs to be understood for us to be successful, to be able to do this. Yeah, to understand that why did we get these peaks. So to understand why we got this peak over here, the first thing that we have to do is we need to go ahead and we need to go back to October 8th. What did we do to get to this point over here? And you know what? Mark has did the research where he went ahead and like pulled up that information for you. And we have already, because we are drop shipping on eBay every single day and we record videos every single day, it was incredibly easy for us to pull up a 1 hour video and look through it and then find out exactly what we did during that period to go ahead and literally double our sales and have that sales go ahead and translate into like into a peak that lasted several days. So Mark has highlighted it. You want to go ahead and take over from here?
Right. So this is on the 8th of October. So on the 8th of October, we had 5,223 listings. Right? Now if we look at the day after, one second. Yeah, if we look at the day after, this is October 9th.
Right. Keep in mind we had 5,250 listings prior to this, and take a look at the listings right now. 5,744. Mark, what can you say about this?
Yeah, so in one day, so this is what you're looking at here. We have 5,744 listings. So in one day, we used the bulk lister on Ecom Sniper and a couple, maybe like 30 minutes of time to list 500 items. So guys, if you want to get Ecom Sniper and have it list for you, and you could just put away your time, save a lot of time, and list thousands of items without, well, you do some work, but you save like 90% of your time. Check out the
Right.
link description and get Ecom Sniper. But yeah,
Right.
so what we noticed that we did do a big push in listings between the 8th and the 9th. And
Right.
that basically doubled the amount of impressions we got. And that's a combination of one, us listing, generating sales, getting more traffic, but as well as getting the 24-hour boost that brand new listings get, because we talk about that in a previous video. I'll put a link to the video in the description.
Right. You want to pull up that previous chart and we can kind of like put those numbers that we just pulled in from here and like narrate the full story. I hope everybody watching is understanding what happened from October 8th to October 9th. The biggest thing that we did during that time is we listed a kamikaze wave of listing 500 items. And Mark, do you want to zoom into the chart so that way we have some more drawing room for everybody to kind of like see it in a bigger screen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So while Mark is setting that up, we're just gonna go ahead and look at the graph, yeah. So right here, let me go ahead and make some notes here from October 8th, and then to October 9th.
We're not seeing anything extra.
Oh, you don't see anything on the screen?
No.
Okay, okay, what about now?
Yeah, it's now up.
Okay, so this is what happened during this period is where we started, and we went ahead and listed 500 items from this period up to this period over here. So what ended up happening is we had a concept that happened on eBay where in the first 24 hours, I'm gonna write it down, first 24 hours, we get a boost in SEO. So if you can see that the note that I wrote down, whenever you list an item on eBay, you go ahead, that item gets at the top of the search results for 24 hours, and then the next 24 hours gets a little lower, and then it keeps getting lower until if it doesn't get any sales, it just becomes an obsolete listing. But that goes to show that the more items you have at the top of search results translates to more sales, right? So that first day where we listed 500 items, right, it resulted in a lot of items being at the top of search, right? And when it's at a top of search, that naturally resulted in a bunch of sales. And then we have another rule where eBay tells us sales bring sales. So you can see that, let me go ahead and write this down. The next rule is sales bring sales. So we have two rules over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and just number them right. So yeah, you can go ahead and finish.
No, go ahead,
So,
go ahead.
so this period over here, from this to this, we can see that this is equated to 24-hour boost in sales. And then the rest of them, right, can be equated to sales bring sales. These two concepts are being applied to this data. And then we stopped listing, or we stopped listing for a long time, and our initial velocity that we built up on the account by giving it a push of 500 items, right, has died off, and it became stagnant and started moving sideways. Does that story make sense, Mark?
Yeah, it makes complete sense.
Yeah, and everything that we did, right, has been recorded and documented. So, and this is like something that I have never seen before as well. Like somebody drop shipping on eBay for like 72 days nonstop. You know what I mean? And recording a video every day with all the statistics and data and etc. That has never been seen. So we're able to like not only like make this analysis for ourselves, but everybody watching, they can always go ahead and analyze the videos and see the story as well and come up with even better conclusions. So some of the takeaways that we have to go ahead and like kind of debunk or like demystify for somebody, right, is we need to go ahead and get rid of the idea that, you know, if you get to 10,000 items, like you're gonna go ahead and sing kumbaya and hold hands and jump around the bonfire. That's not how it works, right? eBay is not as linear as that, and the proof is this. Right over here, we are at 8,000 listings, and over here we were at around 3,000 listings. And you can see that at over here at the 3K mark of listings and at the 8K mark of listings, you can see that the sales are the same. And it's very counterintuitive, right? You would think that the more items you have on your account would result in more sales, but that's not the case. What the real trick here is you have to work with eBay's SEO, right? eBay's SEO tells us very clearly that new items get a 24-hour boost, right? And then sales bring sales. So if you're not listing new items, it's not gonna go ahead and gonna go ahead and give you the sales bring sales concept as well. So, and we stopped listing at the 8K mark because remember, from 3K to this period over here, it was around around 5 to, I would say, like 6K. And then for a very long time, we had, 8K listings over here. And this one would be over here. And then we would have our 3K range over here. So do you see what's going on, Mark?
Yeah, but yeah. But this
Yeah,
in that 8K period, I think it was more around 7,000
right. But we were like, it was let's go put
because I
7K.
listed about 1,000 in the past couple of days.
Right, right. But like I think it's still like true to the story, you know what I mean? Like there wasn't many, like if we look at the period, it's literally been almost a month.
Right,
Where
right,
and
exactly.
in that month there was only like 1,000 or so listings that were made on the account. Maybe a little more. I don't remember the exact numbers.
Yeah, but it's about 1,000.
Right, but it wasn't a substantial number. And because we didn't list heavily, right, we weren't able to go ahead and make like a double in the sales. So what is the take home lesson? How do you use this information, and what do you do with this information so that you can go ahead and like literally double your sales on eBay? So the very first actionable step that you have to do, right, is list every day. So the first thing is list. You get what I'm saying? So you wanna be consistent with your listings every day. Because if you're not listing every day, you're not gonna those items are not gonna be at the top of search results. And if it's not at the top of search results, they're not gonna sell. And if they don't sell, right, it's like if the other items in your store are not gonna sell because of the concept of sales bring sales. So it is just this, you just get into this, like what would you say, like this black hole of of
I wouldn't call it a black hole because you still
like
generate
this
sales.
domino effect.
You lose the momentum, the
Right,
account.
right. You're right. You're right. That's a great word. Right. Like over here, this right over here, this period was over here is the new, let's just call it new listing boost, NLB. And then this part over here is the velocity. So let's
Right,
call this the
exactly.
velocity, and this is the NLB. You know what? Like I need to learn how to like draw better, or like keep things a little more organized. So let's just go ahead and write NLB, and then so this part is the NLB, and then this part over here, I will call it the velocity. So V for velocity. So your new listing boost gives you velocity that's gonna go ahead and like propel your sales, your impressions, which naturally results in sales, because of the concept of sales bring sales, sales for sale. Let's go S for S, whatever. This is horrible. Forgive me, guys.
But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys understand the concepts. Guys, remember to list every day. Check out Ecom Sniper in the description. It's not just good enough to list a ton of items in one day. Spread it out over the 30-day period. List a couple hundred items a day using Ecom Sniper. If you're using a different strategy, you could reach out to me and we could talk about it, have you on the channel. But we do bulk optimizing using Ecom Sniper and using artificial intelligence. So yeah, hopefully you guys took away from this video a couple tips that you could use in your own eBay business, your eBay dropshipping business. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Anything else before we go, Sammy?
Yeah. I just want to finish up like what I was trying to say about like the conclusions for this, like
Yeah.
the actionable steps. I just want to go ahead and give give that out to somebody. Like what I would say the actionable step, right, is exactly as Mark said. Like you want to go ahead and list items every single day. That is the number one thing to do, right? But what happens when you get to like let's say when you have like 10,000 items and like let's say 15,000 items, it is not as simple as listing 100 items a day. You want to go ahead and list even more items a day, but there's going to come a point where you're going to have to go like, okay, what do I do now? Like I don't have any more listing limits. Just know that this is going to be a sneak preview for one of the videos to come, but listing and pruning your items, they go hand in hand. And you know what, let's keep that for another video.
Yeah, we'll go into that in another video, guys. But
Yeah,
guys, check out the impressions in your account. That will give you some insight on how you're doing.
right. So sorry, let me give the last point. Let me give my last point before that. Just for everybody seeing, if we wanted to go ahead and maintain the sales that we got over here, Mark, do you want to give the answer? Like if we wanted all of these graphs to go ahead and like be up here, and we wanted to keep, like our sales at this range, what would you say for somebody to go ahead? What did we do wrong over here in this period?
I mean, we didn't implement exactly what our own advice, right? We weren't listening regularly. We weren't running we didn't follow the five. If you look, I'll put a link in the description to the 5 steps to boosting your sales. We did that on like, I think the 13th.
Right.
But we go through 5 different things, listing every day, promoted listings, markdown, 5 different things that will help you boost your sales. And that's what we didn't do.
Right, exactly. And you're right on the money. Like, and I would say the most important one out of them all is we had to list more items for all the reasons that we did. And if we listed more items during this time, we would have maintained this trajectory moving forward. And you know what? That's okay. We've been doing this for a long time and we still like are not perfect at executing things. But it is a learning process and we do get better every day. So guys, don't worry. Just stay tuned and then yeah, see you in the next one.
All right. Have a good one, guys. See you in the next video.
Have a good one.